If you're watching this, you're probably thinking about buying a home, and you might have heard that getting pre-approved is step number one. And you're right, kind of. See, there's a right way and a wrong way to do it. Hi, I'm Jeremy. I'm a certified mortgage advisor, and I've helped hundreds of home buyers and investors, many of them first-timers, navigate this exact same journey. And in this video, I'm gonna break down for you the 5 steps to getting pre-approved the right way, so you can shop smarter, negotiate harder, and close faster. All right, step number 1 is know your stuff. Now, when I say stuff, I mean there's a few things that you should be noodling over as you start this process. Now, I have your cheat sheet. This is actually step 1A. 1B is coming in just a minute or two. Here's a few points I would think through. Time frame. How much time until you need or want to start shopping? And then how much time is it gonna take you to get closed on your home purchase? Location. Now, you should have some ideas on this, of course, but you can also lean into your relationship with your realtor. And if you haven't talked with your realtor yet about this, that's okay too. You can also lean on other professional advisors to help you out here. Property type. Now, are you looking for just a roof over your head? So is there a lot more to your home search? Do you need to be by schools? Do you need more acreage with your house? How far are you willing to travel from home to work? Or do you work remotely and that's kind of not a big deal? Is living by the airport important for your travel? Do you need a lot of acreage? Price point. This is a big one. Your advisor should be asking you a lot of questions about this because every buying scenario tends to be a little bit different. Total monthly payment goal. So before you talk to any lender, you should have a pretty good understanding on where you are financially. And there's going to be 3 keys that your loan advisor should be going through with you as you navigate your total monthly payment goal. More on those in just a second. Cash to close. Now, I'm going to help you understand what your payment goals are and your down payment figure at closing, and also your closing cost figure. But have you given some thought to your ideal and also your maximum total monthly payment figure? Cash versus payment. Now, this is one of the most important questions I will ask my borrowers. If you had to stretch one, either the down payment figure you have in mind or the total monthly payment after closing, which one would it be? Another way to ask this would be, which one makes you more nervous, the down payment figure or the monthly payment? Length of the loan. I know you don't have a crystal ball, but is this a home that you're gonna live in for the next 1 to 3 years? Or is this more like a 3 to 5 year situation? Or are you gonna be in this house for maybe 7 years or more? The reason I ask these questions, there could be a better loan product available based on you and your situation, depending on your answer. Okay, here's step 1B. And here I figured I'll give you some examples on how I have this consultation call with my borrowers so that you're better armed when you have that same conversation. Thank you so much for sticking around. I'm glad you're here. If you're enjoying this content, please leave a like down below and continue to enjoy the video. In the world of mortgage lending, there's essentially 3 pillars that we're gonna lean on to both guide you and to educate you, and also to qualify you for a home purchase. Now, the first pillar is going to be cash, which is measured by down payment percentiles. Now, there are some 0% down programs out there, but most first-time homebuyer programs will start at 3% down. Now, the average is anywhere between 5 and 10% down, and that usually goes up to about 20% down at maximum. Now, what I will tell you on this, it's not as taboo as it used to be to put down less than 20% at closing. Now, down payment funds can come from many sources. They can come from checking accounts, they can come from savings accounts, retirement accounts, brokerage accounts. They can also come in the form of a gift. And there's even other sources, so long as they can be verified and seasoned. Now, the second pillar is going to be credit. Now, the minimum FICO score required to get a home loan is going to be about 600. Now, the national average for a credit score is somewhere around 680, with 740 and above being considered top tier. Now, the higher the score, the better the interest rate, and generally the better the terms. So you can think of it like your financial reputation. Now, lastly, the third pillar is income. Now, this is measured with something called the debt to income ratio. Now, a lot of people love this because it really helps nail down exactly what your qualifiable monthly payment would be. And you can think of it essentially like a formula that helps us determine what a safe monthly payment would be based on your credit profile. It also makes sure that you're not going to spend too much on your monthly payment once you close. Now, I could crunch some numbers for you in just a few minutes, and that will accurately dictate what is both allowable by the lender and approvable. And then the other conversation we're going to have is what's comfortable for you. That's an important distinction. And then at that point, we would have, hey, are there any questions or comments or concerns here? I want to make sure everyone understands every phase of the process. And when you get into the finances, this is when a lot of questions will pop up. And the biggest takeaway here is just because you can afford something as a household does not mean the lender will say say the same thing. We go strictly on the numbers. Now, step number 2, this is where you're gonna gather your documents. Now, this is where sometimes people get stuck here, and that can slow the process down, but we can make this easy. Most first-time home buyers, you're gonna need 2 months of bank statements. You're gonna need the last 30 days worth of income in the form of pay stubs. We'll take a look at the last 2 years of tax returns. We'll make sure we have identification, so a driver's license is usually the best option here. And then also any additional income that you're generating, we'll also need proof of that as well. Now let's say you're self-employed. So if you're self-employed, we might look at things like your profit and loss statement in combination with a lot more bank statements than just the last 2 months. And potentially we're still gonna require those tax returns for the last 2 years. Really, the more organized you are, the smoother and easier this process is gonna be for you. Now, what if I'm an investor? So what does that look like? Well, easy. You're gonna need articles of incorporation for your LLC. You'll need an EIN letter. You're gonna need an operating agreement for that LLC. And in most cases, you're gonna need some letter or certificate of good standing from the state where you formed that LLC. We'll also look at recent bank statements because we need to source your down payment funds, and that's generally 2 months of bank statements as well. And in all these cases, if you have a preferred homeowner's insurance contact that you've used before, that you're currently using for any of your insurance policies, we're gonna grab that contact info because we're gonna go out and fetch a quote on your behalf. You want a checklist for this? Well, I'm gonna put a free link in the description where you can grab that checklist so that you're even more prepared when you start your home buying process. Now, step 3, and that is to go out and find the right lender for you. Now, not all lenders are created equally. Some lenders have specific loan products where they might do really well at jumbo loans, or other lenders might do really, really well at bank statement loans. Every buying scenario is different, so the interest rate, the fees, availability, flexibility, service, all of those things, they matter. Now you can start with your local bank. You can also start with credit unions. I'd also recommend checking in with mortgage brokers or even online lenders to start that process. Compare interest rates, compare closing costs, compare turnaround time, availability, service. Ask about different loan options. FHA, VA, USDA, DSCR loans, conventional loans, bank statement loans. The right loan product, again, depends on your scenario. For example, I had a client several years ago that selected one of the online lenders, and come to find out, a week before closing, this is 5 weeks into the transaction, they found out they could not accept gift funds for their down payment, and that was a critical part of their financial goals. I had another client that started off with a very well-known online lender. They have their names on sports stadiums and they rhyme with sprocket. And then they realized after our consultation that they were getting charged almost one full interest rate point higher than what I was able to get for them. In both situations, total panic. Don't be that person. Now, if you're not sure where to start here, let's talk. I'll point you in the right direction, even if that right direction is a direction away from me. I just want you to win. Step 4, this is where you're gonna submit your application. So once you've picked a lender, now it's go time. You'll fill out an online questionnaire, and that usually takes anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes. Now the lender could pull a hard credit inquiry. They could also do a soft pull, depending on your timeline. So you only wanna do this if you're absolutely ready to go. They're gonna run some numbers for you, and then they're going to present you with the best loan product and scenario that works for you, and you're gonna know what you qualify for. Now, this isn't just about a loan approval, okay? This is also about loan strategy. So should you buy now, or should you wait a few months and improve your credit score to potentially impact that total monthly mortgage payment for the next 30 years? A mortgage advisor will guide you, not push you. A salesperson will sell you. Gotta know which one you're dealing with. Step 5, this is where you get your pre-approval letter. Congrats! Now, if everything checks out, you'll have a pre-approval letter in hand, and if you've yet to start working with a realtor, this is that point in time where you're going to engage them and you're going to start walking through the home buying process with your realtor advisor. So what does this pre-approval letter show other parties? Well, this pre-approval letter will show all of the information and documentation that mortgage advisor went through with you. So it'll show right on that pre-approval form, was credit pull? Did we look at pay stubs? Did we review tax returns? Is there any gift funds coming in? And if so, is all that squared away already? It'll also show bank statements where we can see, do we have all of the cash verified in season that you're gonna bring to the closing table? And now the best loan advisors will run all of this information through an automated underwriting software. And what this does is it essentially says, all right, we have everything we need, the numbers line up, the scores line up, this is going to be an approvable loan based on the criteria and the documentation provided. And most importantly, this pre-approval letter will show everyone, your agent as a buyer, the listing agent who represents the seller, and the seller themselves. This letter shows them that you're serious. Now, the takeaway tip here is you don't have to max out what you're able to purchase. I can't stress this enough. Just because the letter says you can borrow $500,000 doesn't mean that's the right move. Stick to a number that fits your budget as well as your goals. There you have it. Those are the 5 steps required to get pre-approved for a home loan. Now, if you take away anything from this video, the more prepared you are before applying, the more power you're gonna have during the buying process. Now, if you want a second opinion before going through this process, or you just wanna talk through your options, I offer free mortgage strategy calls. Check the link in the description. And if this video helped you out in any way, please like it and subscribe. And hit that ring bell for notifications when more home buying tip videos get uploaded. And if you have any questions or maybe additions to the 5 steps I laid out here, please drop them below. I'd love to interact with you and I will answer every question personally. Now I'll see you in the next video.